We're going to go through NEAR protocol today, which is another layer 1 protocol, similar to AVAX and Phantom, that has been trending really recently, and you know, it's definitely a coin that is on my radar. So we're going to take a look at the key levels of support resistance where you want to be adding in areas of value. You don't want to be rushing into these trades, okay? And we're gonna mark those up and have a look at some targets to the upside as well. Don't forget to please like the video if you like this content. It really helps me out. It takes me a long time to try to do these videos and mark out these you know, all these key levels for you, and hopefully at the same time you're learning something new and adding this to your strategy when you are you know, when you're trading these coins. And of course, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification if you want to see more of this content in the future and see all the related videos that I post. So let's get straight into it. Now, the first thing we want to do is basically create some market structure and see where we're trending. We're obviously trending upwards and right, so we're looking for, you know, areas of value to buy. We can see that on the weekly, we are above the weekly EMA 21, and we know that when we're above the weekly EMA 21, we're trending upwards, so looking good for NEAR on that front. And if we create essentially a trend line like this, we can see super clearly that we are, you know, wedging up and right, and you know, price is appreciating. Currently creating, of course, higher lows and higher highs. So essentially what we want to do is probably look to add in at the next higher low. Okay, that would be your presumption. So the way that I'd be looking at this is, again, we want to create those key areas, and the two key areas that I can see that I'd be interested in is going to be somewhere around the $12 to $13 mark, and an even stronger level of support in some sort of event of a cataclysmic crash or a massive crash would be that $6 to $7 mark. Okay, so they're the key levels that I'm looking out for. I'm not interested in buying anywhere near the top, no pun intended. I'll be looking to, you know, essentially buy somewhere around here and wait for the pullback. So that first level of pullback would be about a 33% decline from the top. You know, if I don't get the opportunity, like I said, I either wait or just wait for the next coin. There's so many other projects that you can either buy and trade that, you know, you don't have to just hold one coin, even if you think it's the newest and hottest coin. So just like I said, wait for those levels. Now, the way that I'd be trading this, there's two ways in which I can potentially trade this. Now, if I'm looking to trade this as a trending market and basically sell from these price regions at a higher high, okay, is if you know anything about order blocks, okay, then you'd be looking to buy in this area over here at about the $13 mark, okay, where what you do is you wait for that price to break key market structure like this, you wait for it to come back down, and then you buy into this zone and you put your stop loss over here. That's how to trade this, and then that gives you, you know, a nice, like, let's say you get in here and you risk 10%, 12%, whatever it is, just below this candle, and then you target somewhere up here. You know, that's a really nice, you know, 3R trade, 3-to-1 trade, if you wanted to do it that way. If you're bullish on NEAR, and you just want it to add to your stash and you're just looking to add in areas of value, okay, and you're happy to just buy and hold, and that's your strategy, then you can just buy anywhere in this first red box over here. And then, you know, if we ever enter some kind of bear market and we fail to hold this and we move up here, we do something like this, not saying that's going to happen, I'm just saying if that does happen, this would be a really, really strong area of support to be buying, and I'd be all over NEAR somewhere at these levels. But I'm interested in either trading this or adding to some sort of stash at these levels, just not quite at these highs. Okay, taking a look at NEARBTC, we can see that we've got two key areas that we're really looking out for, which is really this key area over here at around the 22,000 sat area, and we've got another one here at about 12,500 sats, which again is that stronger area of support, which again, if we can use the BTC chart, which is actually the, you know, that's something that you really want to be adding to your arsenal when you're trading these coins, because when you start to find confluence in the same way that we did with Chainlink, okay, at the start of the year, and we're creating floor support on not just Chainlink versus USD, but also on the BTC and Ethereum chart, we're finding that multiple confluence that usually gives you a much higher probability, okay, of support playing out. and the probability of the trade going in your favor. So you're typically going to find that these areas are going to be confluent with key zones. So what I mean by that is, if over here you have these multiple touch points, and we can see that we come down and hold this as support. Okay, you're probably going to find that, let's say this is like about a 35-40% decline. That will probably coincide with somewhere along maybe this trend line over here. All right, or it might be somewhere in this red box, depending on how the relationship develops with BTC and what BTC does. So if this continues to just gain ground, versus Bitcoin, you need to keep an eye on that. But that's essentially how to use the BTC chart. Okay, and you'll probably find that somewhere down here is probably going to be confluent with somewhere over here in this range, of that $6 to $7 range. Okay, so remember, you don't just have to trade the USD chart, because if you do hold Bitcoin, sometimes it is a good idea to trade or to swap it for coins that you like in those key areas of value, which is going to be somewhere over here where you can trade your Bitcoin, and then you can trade your Bitcoin for NEAR, and then when NEAR makes its next move, you can trade that NEAR back into BTC and take profits that way. Because that's what I do a lot of the times. I take profits from and a lot of my alts into Bitcoin, because for me that is the whole point of holding altcoins, is so that it's something that you think is going to outperform the market, and that you can basically accumulate more Bitcoin over time, because Bitcoin is the king. It's the asset that holds the biggest market cap and is the least volatile, and generally trends up with time. Now you can see that some of these extensions on the fib, right, they're going to a lot of those major targets at the 1.618 at $13, where we got this local high back in October, November last year. And if we pull up exactly the same for the current wave, right, then you can see that we're getting some confluence, right? And I'll show you in a moment, at that $25 mark, which is the key number for me that NEAR might be targeting. So like I said, if we did get down to somewhere that, at this order block over here at like $14, I would be targeting $25 as the first major target, as that higher high that we spoke about before. If we take the extension from this wave as well, okay, you can see that the 1.618 also falls somewhere in between that $25 to $29 mark. So just have that as an area to watch out for. And we spoke about this trend line over here, okay, this upward trend line to give us that market structure. And we can see that, should we reach $25, that might coincide with this. So look for that sort of confluence. So if we end up hitting like $25, in the near future, okay, then maybe that happens at some time mid-Feb, and that's somewhere along this trend line is where I'll be looking to take profits, especially if you get a good entry somewhere down here. And if we look at some of the extensions of the major waves, we can see that 1.618 is respected. Boom, hits it there. So these are key levels that we want to be looking out for. And again, on this wave, you can see that we hit the 1.618 exactly to the T. And like I said earlier, this wick, I did check on exchanges if this was some sort of scam wick, and I've checked it on multiple places, and this was actually price action that genuinely took place across multiple exchanges. So we can definitely count this as a peak. So if we use that again, like I said, we actually take the impulse extensions over here, we can see that we get that confluence at about $25, right, as the near-term target. So I hope you got some value from the video. You learned something new, and it gives you an idea of how you want to be trading these markets and those good entry levels on NEAR. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe. Hit the bell icon if you want to see more of these videos. Go back and check some of the other ones that I've done over the last week or so. Hopefully you get some good value from that as well. And like the video, much appreciated. Catch you in the next one.